G'day, Steve here, Woodworking Masterclass. I'm just about to make a single bottle wine rack for one of my sons for his birthday. We have an affinity with the Bond movies going back to when he was 8 years old, and I took him to his first Bond movie. I believe it was GoldenEye. So what I want to do is make a single bottle wine rack out of this, and the bottle of wine I've got to put in it is actually called Bond. So I'm going to do it and laser engrave and actually set out the design on the laser. So instead of doing what you normally have to do, which is precise positioning and all that, I'll show you an easy way. You can use it on a laser, you can use it on a CNC, still get precision without all the headaches and heartaches. So first of all, I've got to design up the label and work out how big I want it to be. So for that, I'll go to the laptop. So it's 90 by 250 mil. And there we have it, and we'll lock that in place. And I've got to come down 20 mil because it's going to actually have a chamfer on it. So let me just get rid of that one. Bring this up here. I'm actually using the mouse pad. I prefer to use a mouse. Okay, so that's the overall size that I want, and it's going to have a 35 mil hole in the middle. So we'll just make that 35, and I'll put that in the middle. So to do that, I want to come down 20 mil, 80 mil as well. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. It's got to come down to there, and we'll put it in the middle, which is just about there by my reckoning. There's no science in this. I'm just looking at it and go, yep, that's got to be close enough. And that's the beauty of doing what I'm going to be doing here, is you don't have to be absolutely spot on and precise with everything because I'm using an oversized board. So providing I've got the design there that I want and I'm using an oversized board, I can then put it in the laser, get it lasered, etched, marked, engraved, whatever I want to do. Then I can trim it to shape. So we'll just group that together, and I'll swing that around 90 degrees. That's pretty close to that. I'll drop that down, and now I've got to put the letters in. So we'll go to letters, and we'll go Luke. I know the font that I want, so I'll just change it to that. That's the one I want there. Now I'll put that in the middle-ish. And then I'm going to put a curve in it, so I'll get this blue dot here, and we'll just curve that a little bit, and it should be looking okay. That's looking pretty central for me. And then I want to put something just nice. So best, bond. I'll have that there, I think. There. Oops. Nearly finished. Got to remember his birthday now. A little bit more to go. Alright, and then we'll group that. And it should all be one. And I can, whoops, we'll spin it around like that. Okay, so this bit of timber I've got here, it actually measures 130 by 400. So I've removed the honeycomb tray, so I've just got the drawer, and because the timber is thicker than 17 mil, I've had to do that so I can get it deeper in so I can fit this bit of timber underneath. So what I'm using is some 1, 2, 3 blocks, and I'm just putting those into position using magnets. You might not be familiar with 1, 2, 3 blocks, but with machining and engineering, I think they're absolutely an invaluable tool, because you know the precise measurements. They're called 1, 2, 3 blocks because they're 1 inch in that direction, they're 2 inches in that direction, and they're 3 inches in that direction. So if you're using that as a consistent gap, you'll know after you've done it a few times what distances you're going to be getting. So now what I'm going to do is just measure from here to here, just so I know that's squarish. Okay, I'll make it 9. Yeah, 90 mil there. Pop that in a little bit. And for me, that is square enough. Now, if I had the honeycomb tray in, the distance that this surface is, or above the honeycomb, would be 8 mil. So I've got to set my laser at 17 mil minus 8, which means I've got to drop it down to 9 mil. So I'll go back over to the computer and do that. So now I think we'll frame it. That's looking okay. Now we will actually run it. I will turn the fan on, because that looks as if it's a bit smoky. So that should clear the smoke fairly well, I think. timber I'm burning it into is Tasmanian Myrtle. And there we have it. Now I've just got to go to the saw, cut that out, cut that hole out, give it a light sand to get the burn off, and it should be good to go. Got a bit of 240. Here we go. Blow it out. Now I've just got to go over to the saw and I'll cut that out. Okay, I've trimmed it down to size, put the miters on it. Now all I've got to do is router it and cut the hole out. Hole's there, now I'll just router it. There you go. I've just got to give it a final sand and a coat of lacquer and it's done. And this is what it looks like. The complete Bond set. The Bond wine with the Bond boy. Well, Bond man now. There you go. Well, hope you like that quick little project. But apart from the fact that it was a project that I'm having lunch with him in 2 hours, so I've got to lacquer it and finish it off. But if you're using a CNC, or if you're using a router, or if you're using a laser, the good thing is you don't have to worry about being precise to get it dead centre. Cut the material oversized, do the job, mark it out, and then when it's all finished, you can cut it out and you end up with precise, perfect measurements. Anyway, I found it's the easy way. If you've got other ways, please drop us a line in the comment. But that's it. I've got to finish lacquering this. Thanks again to Omtech. It's an absolutely beautiful laser machine, and it's getting a lot of use in the shed, I can tell you. But by the same token, it's nice to go back to hand tools as well, because I still use my carvers and I still use my chisels. So until we meet again, this is Steve, pulling the shed door down, saying remember to keep it sharp, but more importantly, keep it safe, look after yourself, be kind to each other, and I look forward to having you in the workshop again very, very soon. Bye for now.